Episode of the Sunday Soul podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lisa Brewer, the Oracle, and I am so pleased to have with us today Jackie Cote. Jackie is an empowered, amazing woman who has taken life by storm, chosen to live it on her own terms, is the founder and CEO of Jackie Cote Coaching, and her story of independence from the matrix, from the programs, and from all that tends to bind us up and keep us from soaring to our highest potential is one that I know that you will find empowering and inspiring. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, everyone, to the Sunday Soul podcast. This is Dr. Lisa. Listen, I know I've been gone, honey. I have been doing some things. We've been taking a bit of a hiatus, but we wanted to come to you today over 4th of July weekend to celebrate. Let's celebrate our own freedom and talk about how we can get our own independence on this Independence Day weekend. And as such, I have a new friend, Ms. Jackie Cote. She, honey, has stepped out of every box and every chain and every nook and cranny that anyone tried to keep her in society. And now she's living a life of absolute freedom. And I am here for it. Jackie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lisa, for having me. I'm excited to meet your peoples, and yeah, there are no more boxes, man. They're all gone, crushed.
That is amazing. That is amazing. They're in the recycle bin, never to be seen again.
Yes.
Jackie.
Yes, I like that.
Listen, threw them in the recycle bin. That's it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, dear. Tell us about yourself.
Definitely. So, my past life was 30 years of the restaurant industry. I did leadership management and I mentored and coached people for my whole life. I was the one kid out of the family. Everybody still lives in Jersey, all the family, the friends. And I was the one kid who was like, I really don't want to get a good job, get the normal job. And I went to college and I tried to teach for a year. It wasn't me. And I found myself gravitated to the restaurant industry, which is what I was able to travel the country with. I actually did an Arizona trip, California trip, and went around and opened restaurants for different companies like Starbucks and Potbelly. And I loved it. Hard work, long hours, really no time freedom, but I was able to experience a lot more than if I was behind a desk, which is like an animal in a cage for me. So I did that. And the last few years, I found something that a different part of the industry, and I tried to get into something different to challenge myself and to put me in a corporate office position. Again, animal in a cage, box, not me. And so I fought that for 2 years, but I was like, no, there's a purpose, there's a reason, I'm here. And I found this coaching world. And I don't know about you, I didn't know anything about coaching. I knew football coach, soccer coach before this came into my life, right? And I was like, what is this magical thing? And something that I was really good at when I was in the field of the restaurant industry was I could see what other people couldn't see. And I'd haul this gift of belief up for people until they got there. And then I'd raise it a little more. And I promoted over 300 people in that industry. And I was like a promoting machine of just putting people into higher income levels and higher jobs and changing their families' lives and watching their kids get more than they ever could get because of what the parents were doing. And it was so much fun. And then I got fired from my job right 2 months after I learned about this coaching thing. And I was like, okay, so now I know it's possible, right? Perfect. Hello, universe. Smack. And God's like, are you done? Are you done? And so when they fired me, it was like this pivotal moment. I was like, okay, I know there's this opportunity. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I know there's opportunity to build my own thing, doing what I want, where I want, how I want to do it, without having to ask for permission from anyone. And I'm like, that sounds too magical, but I'm going to go for it. So I went for that instead of going back and getting another job, which is really easy in that industry. And that's what kickstarted this whole freedom path, even though I look back, and you know how you look back and you're like, oh, I was always that. Yeah. I was always that, show me how I can find more flexibility and freedom in what I'm doing. And so I would go for the next position because I knew I could control my time a little bit more, or I would take the travel position so I could travel and experience things on the company's dime. So even within the constraints of my jobs, I would find ways to design a little more freedom in my life, but there was still those boxes, right? There were still the limits. Like, you can only make this much, and you got to go where we tell you. You only get 2 weeks off. And I wasn't, and it was 10 hours a day, 7 days a week sometimes.
Yeah.
It was just, I didn't realize how much I was neglecting myself until I got fired and actually had the time off to figure out that I was neglecting myself. And I took some time to heal myself. I took some time. I vacationed 7 times in the first 6 months after getting fired. Normally you would think if you lose your income, you wouldn't vacation. I was the opposite.
My God. My God. So let's talk about, like, I've had similar situations, right? You're let go, all of a sudden your life, we're told, should fall completely apart. And sometimes life does fall apart, right? In some way, because we're still not quite ready to, like, take that leap. For you, what do you think was the most important change that was happening in you leading up to this, like, okay, that's it. Universe has been trying to tell you to get out, but you haven't been listening. So now we're just going to kind of kick you out of. What were some of the most important changes happening internally leading up to this, like, oh, wow, I can be free?
That's a great question. There's a couple things that stick out for me as you say that. One was when I started the schooling for life coaching and health coaching, like, they started with the health coaching side. And I was like, I'm not a health coach. Like, I'm just not, I don't take care of myself, this and that. But they were teaching you really basic things like breathing before you're eating, drinking water. Who are you being? Like, how can you de-stress yourself? Slowing down. And it was like these, like, simple concepts, but it opened up my awareness to how much I was not present in my life. And right. And I was like, I eat food in 3 minutes, like beginning to end of a meal, like, cause that's how much time we'd have in the restaurant industry. And you're supposed to eat in 20 minutes and chew your food. And I'm like, that sounds so basic. But it changed my life, like, actually changed heartburn and lost weight and all sorts of stuff. But it was like, it changed my life because it made me become more present and realize, oh, this is the only body that I'm going to get. This person's got to get taken care of. This person has to be, and my relation, it's so funny because my relationship was on the rocks when I met this whole coaching world.
Wow.
My job was on the rocks. Like, everything was kind of like ready to, like, explode or implode, whichever you want to call it. And I stopped and went, you know what? I got to take care of me. And you're right. I wasn't ready, by the way, at the time. And I watched debt go up. I watched savings go down. I went through all the money fears. I tried to go get a job and I got offers, and I had to, at that point, say no and bet on myself. And there was one incident. Oh, I got to tell you this one real quick. This guy who used to work with me at another company, I applied for another company, and he gets on the phone. He was like, his name is Mike. He's like, Jackie? I was like, yeah. He goes, Jackie from Potbelly? And I'm like, yeah. And he worked for another company. He's like, oh, I don't need to interview you. I'd hire you in a heartbeat. He's like, I love you. You're awesome. He would hire me. He was going to give me more money. But he asked me one question. And this is how you know our higher power has our back. Excuse me, guys. He said, I want to ask you one question. He goes, what do you really want to do? And I was like, why are you asking me that? He's like, I'm just curious. He's like, is there anything else you really want to do with your life? And I was like, well, I just met this coaching company, and I'm like, I'm learning how to do this, but I'm not ready for that. He goes, well, how much money do you have saved? And I was like, why is he asking me my finances? Right. Right. I'm like, this is not an interview. And he goes, I said, well, I'm going to be selling my house. And I was already planning, I'm going to sell my house, cut my expenses. I was like, get into a lower expense place so that I can build this business. I had us planned out. He's like, awesome. He's like, how long could you live on it? And I was like, a year. He goes, great. He's like, I'm not hiring you. And I was like, what? He said, I'm not hiring you. He goes, but if in a year it doesn't work out, come back to me. I'll give you a job. And so that was another pivotal moment of permission. Right? Wow. Like, I got permission from this man to bet on myself. And that's what we need sometimes. That's why we need mentors, coaches, and people in our lives to help read the label we cannot see, because he could see something in me that I didn't see at the moment fully. So I borrowed his permission and his belief in me until I got there. And from that, I was like, you're right. You're right. I don't want to get a job again.
Right.
He's like, then don't do it. He goes, if I was in your boat, he goes, I would do it. So that gave me permission, which was something that we don't give ourselves,
right.
to like take the chance, to take the risk.
Right. Yeah, I have a mantra. A lot of you guys will remember this. I say it all the time, that you need to give permission to your purpose to provide for your person.
Permission to your purpose to provide for your person. Is that right?
Yes.
I love that. It's beautiful.
When I integrated that a few years ago, and then really allowed it to be about almost 2 years ago now, I've never looked back. Because you're right. Sometimes we are just asking for permission. And I love how you said that you had to borrow it from him long enough for you to give it to yourself. I think that's absolutely beautiful. I think that's absolutely beautiful.
I'm so grateful for that and multiple people that crossed my paths, along the way, because that's what I did. I did that so well for other people. And I'm like, but we don't do it for ourselves, right? Like we do it for others and we don't always do it for ourselves. Right. And he showed me that if I do it for myself, that I'm able to like do more for others. True. And so when you say like, what kept me like going or believing, it was taking care of myself. It was the first step. Self-care is not selfish, it's selfless. Taking care of myself, making myself a priority in all aspects, and loving the crap out of myself. To the point where I have tattooed on my arm. I've never gotten a tattoo before, and I got tattooed "What Would Love Do?" And I had like anchors to anchor me into how to love myself more, and how to just respect the body and all that other stuff. Because there's other stuff that I had to overcome when it came to like a eating disorder in my past and a body relationship and stuff like that. And once I worked through that, then it was like the business just took off.
Right.
Because I took care of me. Right.
So we don't gloss over that kind of stuff here. So let's talk about it. Because there's a lot of us that go through various levels of trauma, different types of trauma, but the underlying, I think, even though there's the variations, for me, the common denominator are the programs and the energy it deposits within us, right? And how that affects us throughout the rest of our lives until we discover it. So tell me about that transition, right? From trauma to empowered being.
It's funny, and I will talk about anything. So if anyone has any questions afterwards, feel free. I just wait and make sure it's not something that could trigger people when I talk about it, because I believe that the more we tell our story and the more we let out what it is and talk about it, the more we heal, and we heal others when we do it. And so something I had bulimia for 30 years of my life, but I hid that so well that people knew me from high school, college, everything. And no one knew when I first said it. And I remember being at an event for the coaching schooling, and they were like, those big rah-rah events pre-COVID. And they're like, yeah, okay, now what's that one thing in your closet you've told nobody, and tell your neighbor. And I turned to a neighbor and I was like, I have bulimia. I don't call myself a bulimic, and I'll explain that in a minute. I have bulimia. I use this as a tool, and I couldn't understand why. So as I processed it with my one-on-one coach and with the people that I was working with, what I discovered, it was all about emotional regulation. So I grew up, my mom died when I was 5. My dad was working a really, really tons of hours, 80, 90 hours a week, raising 6 kids, running a construction company that he built on a 3rd grade education, amazing man. But I was alone a lot. And so loneliness food was the thing that replaced loneliness, right? And so whenever there was a time where I needed to fill that hole, food became that vice. But the bulimia kicked in because I had nobody to let my feelings out of. Like I had nobody to like I'm angry. I'm like pissed off, but no one has time for that. So let's hide that.
Mm-hmm.
I need to like express something, but nobody has the time for that. So I chose to release that anger through the purging part of it. And when I came to the conclusion, when I understood like no judgment, I believe in no judgment, just curiosity. As you explore this world and yourself, this world of yourself, which by the way, I avoided for 40 years. Like as women, we want to like help everybody, right?
Right.
And the main reason why we want to help everybody is because we want to deal with our own stuff.
I say that all the time. That's our dirty
right?
little secret as an empath. We want to do everything for everybody else, but we don't want to go look underneath this hood here.
I want to avoid that. Like I would like keep real busy, and bring all the people around. And how can I serve you? Because I didn't want to deal with me. And that was the joy of being a camper, by the way, is that there's like bees and bugs everywhere. So if you see me doing this, that's why.
By the way, for the audience, we'll get to this in a second, but she is an RV nomad. So just so you understand. So we'll get to that part. Just give us a second. Okay, go ahead, dear.
I should take my background off so they can see that. So that freed me. Like it was like I always kind of say open a fire hydrant, taking a sip from a fire hydrant. Imagine trying to take a sip of water. When I said those words to that one woman at that event, it was like, and then I needed to say it again. And I said it again. And I started telling my partner, I told one of my best friends, and I started telling people, and it was like all this pressure was just released. And the reason why I don't call myself a bulimic and I'm not a recovering or this and that, because it was a coping mechanism, a safety mechanism that kept me safe for all those years. It helped me manage whatever it was and keep my emotional anxiety. Like, and I was always happy Jackie, and I was always like that, the one you could count on. And I was very successful in the careers that I did. And I've been taking care of myself since I was 16 and paid for everything. Like, so I was the standard I got it girl. Because I knew how to regulate my emotions if I needed to through the safety mechanism. And
it was still serving you.
It was totally serving me. And that's why I say, like, as you guys discover things, as we discover things, to truly, truly be no judgment, just curiosity. Like it would not serve me to beat myself up for knowing that I do this, or that I've chosen to do that. Oh, you're blah, blah, blah. Like we say all these nasty things to ourselves. And in reality, everything that we've created are all reasons that survival, to be loved, to feel safe, and to belong in this world. And once we discover the positive intention underneath all the behaviors and the things that we've done, that we do, then we get to say, okay, cool. That served me to this point. What do I want to do now moving forward? Like, so I built a nourishment list. I put it on my fridge. Like, so instead of doing XYZ, I wore this bracelet that anchored me into it every day for like a year. And I was like, what do I want to do instead? I'm going to go to the fridge, or I'm going to drive to the fast food place, or if I'm going to do the thing because I'm upset about something, what can I do instead? I had it in my car, had it on the fridge. Like, I'm going to call a friend. I'm going to go play with my dogs. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do something that would distract me and change the behavior and rewire what I believed. And then I'd realize, oh, I'm safe. I don't have to do that anymore. Oh, I'm safe again. I don't have to do that anymore. And so that's why I believe that we can like rewire almost everything through the mind.
Yeah, I would say we can rewire everything personally. There's nothing, there is literally nothing that cannot be rewired. Exactly. And I love the fact that you came to this epiphany, this understanding, this understanding with no judgment. Because so often, another reason why we don't change the narrative, that we don't like rewire it, renew our mind, as I, like to say here, is because A, it's painful. B, we end up having this judgment, this guilt, this shame that's associated with it. When in reality, there's a myriad of reasons how we got where we're at. I venture to say 99.9% of them had nothing to do really with us.
Right.
It was it was the result of different decisions and responses to circumstances and energy as it presented itself to us throughout our life. And so we made a specific set of decisions to protect and serve. That's what the mind does, protects and serves, right? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's its job, and so it did what it needed to do. So if you can approach it without that judgment and and having that self-love, that just makes all the difference in the world.
That was crucial. And I highly suggest, someone said to me, do you know what an anchor is? And it's probably called a bunch of different things, but I was like, an anchor, like a boat anchor? They're like, no, like a bracelet or a necklace or something to anchor you back into to break the state, when you go to do something so I bought this like $6 chakra bracelet. I knew nothing about chakras. I was not a woo child whatsoever previous to, in the restaurant business. And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's pretty. It's got all the colors. So I wore this chakra bracelet and it was on my wrist and I wore that thing showering, sleeping, everything for an entire year before I remotely changed it to, I didn't care if it didn't match my outfit. That was my that was my anchor. It helped me through a lot of decision making in that time.
That is beautiful. So tell us about, how did you get to this RV nomad life that you have? And also at the same time, you are the founder, CEO of Jackie Cote Coaching. You are just doing all the things and making an impact in the world. How did this RV thing come about, and where does that tie into the coaching realm?
All right, let me start by saying, when we say you don't know the how and what it's going to look like, trust us, because this was not this here. I'll change the background real quick while I do it, because to say I'm a 70s baby, right? And to say that you were going to live in an RV was not glamorous.
No,
right?
Not the thing we do. No.
And so I've set myself, we do vision boards and future vision casting and stuff like that of what you desire. And that is a huge, huge first step for anyone that works with me, is we're going to get real honest of where you're at, but real honest about where you want to go. And and raise the bar of whatever that vision is that you have, because we don't let ourselves vision too much because it's not safe. Right.
Yep.
So I was really pushing, stepping into my vision, and I was like, I'm going to travel to Italy and Greece. And I got all the pictures on my wall and I'm going to do all this. And then COVID hit, and it was okay, we're not doing any of that. And my boyfriend and I looked at each other well, what else could we do to travel? And so we started watching our Tiny Home Nation and RV America on TV. And don't watch RV America if you don't want to buy an RV, because you will, because it's really it's engaging and seeing all the possibilities where people could go. And something that we always talked about is that once his oldest kid was off and on his own, because he's got 4 kids and his youngest is a son, and he decided to go into the Marines, and all the kids got jobs, and we're okay. But once the last one left, he's I want out of Virginia, because that's where we were. Mm-hmm. And I was well, I've moved 22 times, so I'm game with doing anything. I love change, and I love moving. And I realized after buying and selling 3 different houses that I'm not designed at this point in my life to be locked into anything. And so we looked at each other, we're what about an RV? So we went and looked at one and we saw it. And here's the funny part about it. This is how you know you're aligned. There's 2 parts to the alignment of this. We went, we found the one we like, and we saw it. We're okay, we're going to get it. But I'm I'm not getting the truck. That's too many bills at one time, because I still have my money fears. But we needed a truck, right?
Absolutely.
But we had another year before leaving full time. But the guy at the RV place was hey, by the way, somebody just turned in a truck fully equipped for the RV you're buying right around the corner. You might want to go check it out. Meaning it's got the tow package already in, right?
Wow.
And it's got the towing capacity and all of it. It's a Dodge 3500 black, all the things we wanted. So we drive around the corner and I'm we're not getting this truck. I'm like, we're not.
Famous last words.
Famous last words. And he's well, let's just go look at it. And it was, I priced these things out, and I'm looking at it now. I priced these things out, and they were $55,000, $60,000 trucks. I'm I'm not ready for that. Mm-hmm. And this truck was $40,000. It only had 18,000 miles. And the payment for the truck was going to be the same as somebody who just texted me and said, I want to join your program. So the monthly payment matched up with the truck. And I was okay, we're getting the truck. So,
Wow.
I mean, talk about like, this is your future. And then the second thing that really showed me that I was in the right place was I looked out the window the next day. Did you ever buy something big and you look out and you're like, I'm not sure if I should have done that.
Mhm.
I looked out and I was like, that's my future.
Yeah.
Like, that's my future.
Yeah.
I had no regrets, no remorse. I don't have regrets, but like no like buyers like, what did you do?
Right.
I looked out there with the biggest smile and I was like, yeah, like that's next. It was so cool.
That is so amazing.
And so now we're full time. We don't have a
Yes.
home. We sold everything. We got rid of the rental. We sold all of our furniture. We have one little storage unit. And we've been up and down the East Coast, across the South, Texas. And then we took Texas up about a month and a half ago. And now we're going to go up over to Montana, Wyoming, and then hit Colorado. So working our way.
That's amazing. And all the while, you're living in your purpose, making an impact in the world, an impact in people's lives, and loving every minute. Work
And
is
that's
play. Go ahead.
that gave me the opportunity to do what I'm doing.
Yes.
If I didn't step into my purpose and built what I built and bet on myself,
Right.
and stayed the course and trusted and surrendered, a lot of surrender, and and then I wouldn't be like doing what I'm doing today and helping other people do the same, you know?
Right. Right. So this has been just so enlightening and so empowering for me. Let me just tell you, like, I love to hear these, we say their stories, but I just love to hear the recounting of the unfolding of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more than a story. It's just like, wow, And so I love to, as this like seed of life then unfolds into this beautiful flower of life as it shows itself in each individual person having this experience. I want to be sure that my folks are able to interact with you as well, because I'm sure that this resonates with a lot of people as they're listening right now. So there's different ways, right? So can you let us know? I know that there's like a way we can get to your newsletter, right? There's a way we can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my freebie that will be dropped is a video of learning how to set your intentions and goal setting, and that'll get you linked into my newsletter community, as well as a option to do a 30-minute call with me. So if there's something that you heard today that you want to go deeper into or figure out if there's some support that you need, and I'm big on if I'm not the right person to support you, I have a whole network of people that are perfect, that have be a perfect fit for somebody. So that's also in there, and they can reach me through that, and they can reach me through my email. And then I also would like to say that I built this whole business with no bells and whistles. Like, it was me talking to people, meeting people in networking events.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. And my Facebook personal page was the only social media I ever did. Now I'm branching out a little bit into LinkedIn and Instagram, but my Facebook personal page is my digital diary. So if you want to know who Jackie Cote is, what she's doing, you want to, like, because what you see is what you get. Like, whatever you see there, like, if you meet me in person, I'm just a little shorter, a little shorter. Then people are like, you always look so much taller. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm only 5 foot, but it's like the journey. And then when you see me standing next to my boyfriend in a picture, like, yeah, she's short. But I tell people, come there and be my friend, like, come just hang out with me, because that's really where you'll know, like, me. And you can email me and all that good stuff.
So all those links are going to be down in the description or in the show notes, depending upon where you're either watching, listening, whatever you're doing with, however you're consuming this content. But Jackie also has a very, very special group that she has, a very special membership called Destiny Makers. It's the Destiny Makers membership option. Can you tell us about Destiny Makers? Because that just like, I'm like, yes, that's amazing. Tell us about Destiny Makers, Jackie.
When I heard somebody say to me one day, they were like, if you have a desire, it's your destiny. You're meant for it. It came from up above. And someone said that to me, and I was like, oh, then that means I'm a destiny maker. I was like, it
Wow.
just like popped in. And I was like, and so that's why I call it there, because no matter where you're starting in this journey, whether it's like your first time ever dealing with coaching, or whether it's you're looking for a community, or whatever it is, you get to become the destiny maker that you're meant to be on this earth. And so my membership is a place where you get to be part of a community. You get live coaching. We do intentional goal setting in week 1. This is live on Zoom. This is not like, here's like, a do-it-yourself thing. The next week, there's a live coaching call where you get laser coached, and you have to step up and say, I want support. The third week is a workshop with me. We just did a phenomenal workshop on like being authentically yourself on social media, and there's so much like fear around social media, and I'm like, doesn't have to be that way. And the fourth one is a guest expert. I bring in guest experts into the program, and they speak and they teach something, or they tell a story, whatever it is that they decide they want to do. And that's every week. You get support. 4 weeks a month you get support, and then there's a community that you get to engage with and be supported by. And how these women support each other. Right now it's all women, and I keep it all women. It feels a little safer for them, kind of thing, but if that ever changes, I'll always warn people ahead of time. But right now it's a women's community, and what I watch, the magic of them supporting each other just warms my heart. It makes me get up every day, and I'm like, ooh, who's helping who today, and who's supporting who in the membership. And they're just amazing humans. So that membership is the foundation to just it was a passion project. Like I always, I have my one-on-one coaching. I have my one-on-one coaching. I have my mastermind. And then back in the February, March, I was like, you know what? Like, I really want this place where anybody can come. Maybe you can't do like the higher VIP ticket items, but you want to one day. This is your stepping stone to that.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing without even stepping up. So
Go.
I'm always blown away.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have links to be able to join that as well down in the notes and the description box. Jackie, you're an amazing energy, a powerhouse, kind of a gentle tsunami.
Takes one to know one.
Hey, guilty as charged. This has just been fabulous, and I love the freedom that you exude, and the energy of self-assuredness and agency. Right.
Like that.
You have agency, and I want to thank you for sharing that with all of us. Now, I always give my guests an opportunity to close us out. Is there any parting bits of wisdom you would like to bestow upon us?
So I was going to say this anyway, but then I got a call this morning from one of my old bosses, who is a mentor that I'm so blessed. He used to be my mentor at Starbucks back in 2003. And on and off every few years, he like drops in, but like he called me and he's like, I'm just so proud of what you're doing. Like you just every day, like when I see what's going on, it blew my mind. He's amazing. His name is Michael Looney, and he's as loony as his last name. He's 67 years old. And he says to me today, because he's got more energy than all of us bottled up in like his pinky. Like that's how this man is. And he goes, all right. He's like, I built my like multi-million-dollar thing, but like I'm ready like to now really do what I'm supposed to be doing in life. And I was like, wow. Okay, hon, tell me. He's like, I want to do what you're doing. He's like, I want to speak, and I want to inspire the world. And he's so inspiring. Like he's going to be huge. And I said, and I said to him, I said, isn't it cool that at any age we get to reinvent ourselves? And yes. I'm 50 in July. He's 67. I've met 70 and like so many people 50 plus. And so what I'm trying to say is that don't wait to turn your freedom vision into a reality. Like if there's no age, like don't let anything limit you. And if you need help getting out of your head about what's limiting you and into the action it takes to create whatever you desire, please reach out to one of us. Reach out, like get the support you need, because he's so inspired. And he's like, I ain't 67. And I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm not 50. I don't feel 50. I don't look 50. Like, we were just totally laughing hysterically this morning. But it just reminded me that you get to reinvent yourself and you get to have the life you desire at any age. It's not too late.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's beautiful. And that's very true. I'm 54. I'll be 54 in a couple of weeks when this airs. I don't even know what that's supposed to feel like because I don't feel
I
it.
know.
I'm like, what
it
is that
doesn't
supposed
compute
to
my
be?
brain.
Doesn't make any sense. Like, what's that about? You know? So, no, we get to reinvent and rebirth. We get to be reborn at any age, and I love that. That is beautiful.
There's one other thing I say with my clients, and I have like all this stuff, all these things on t-shirts, by the way. It's hilarious. I say that we gotta awaken, right? The leader, the woman, the goddess inside, and then we've got to empower her, and then we got to own the heck out of her. And that's where I feel like I'm in life. I'm at that like that third stage of like life is just beginning.
Yeah.
And I own her finally.
Yeah.
And I know the magic and the power she has.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to feel that. Absolutely. That's what I want to help every woman that I can get in contact with to feel that.
That's beautiful.
It's the
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Jackie, thank you again. This has been a magical time. And I want you guys to please, again, get into those notes, get into this description, get into it, okay? And I want you to run, not walk, and check Jackie out. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this episode up. Thank you so much for being with us. We so very much appreciate you. And as always, peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. We love you guys so much. Have a great one. Bye, gang.
Bye.